Peace. Here again to align those chakras. So I want to talk about trust. I have been seeing so many trust issues coming to play. This full moon in Scorpio is no joke. It is whipping my butt, at least on my shadow side. I've been having a lot of issues with patience, and I think most of you guys are too, so it's safe to say that we're going through this collectively, and to not feel like it's just you as an individual. Now, it has been pretty rough as far as, communication and just getting along with people right now, and I think it's because we're starting to face reality on what we like and what we dislike, and getting rid of thought frames or belief systems that no longer serve us as individuals and in whatever form or way in your life. So it's kind of time to get it together in the form of trust. We need to get present, and I feel like this is something I repeat a lot in my videos, but I feel like it's because we as a collective are having problems with that. We either stay too much in the past, or we dip into the past or the future. We're not allowing things to play out itself. We're setting expectations, or trying to figure out or assume what positions certain things in our lives represent. And I feel like it's time for us to touch on that a little bit. Why are we jumping to conclusions? Why are we dipping and dabbling in places we don't need to be? And it usually comes from the fact that we have no trust. We have no trust in the present moment. We don't have trust in what we're experiencing frame by frame, minute by minute. So we need to start exploring within ourselves why. What's causing you, or what lack of something is making you dabble in your future or your past. What type of trust issues is coming up? What types of conversations or situations are coming up right now for you? Because the Scorpio moon is, I won't say so much emotional, but even though Scorpio is a water sign, I feel like it really is touching more on grounding. It's touching more on bringing as much light as possible into our vessel. So I feel like we're mostly looking into the shadow side, our ego, where we stand within ourselves in our lives, and with people in our lives. And it's hard sometimes to be grounded and to be present, but why is it hard? Why are we avoiding the present? Is there certain emotions that you're not ready to face? Is there certain situations that you're not ready to face? Why are you getting angry? Why are you going so low in vibration? This is questions we need to ask ourselves. Just as far as, we need to be more positive, and everyone in civilizations beyond us, before us, all agree that this moon is the most powerful moon that we ever experience throughout the year, the full moon in Scorpio. Again, because it just brings so much light, and we just have to tackle this aspect of our lives. We have to tackle what makes us unhappy. We have to tackle what makes us feel weak. We have to tackle what gives us trust issues. We have to tackle these things. We have to try to understand them and figure out why we're in this predicament. What is going on in our lives that we're not balanced in? What are we not resonating with? What's going on? We need to ask questions and figure it out. We deserve to be happy. We deserve to have love inside and outside of ourselves. So if nothing, or if there is a situation that is not reflecting this love and this trust, what am I supposed to learn? I'm facing a lot of issues within myself too right now, as far as, feeling like I'm not being heard. but I have to look at that like maybe I'm not listening as much as I should be or I can be. Maybe there's deeper meanings that I'm missing when I have conversations, that I have to be shown that listening is very important. I feel you guys, 100% on the fact that some things are just really hard, but it's all about getting your mental as strong as possible. The spirit is already aware of what needs to happen, so it's about getting the mind there, getting the mind and the heart to compensate for all the things that we've gone through. And that's probably not the way I wanted to say that. No. We need to get our mind and our heart on the same frequency, but without disturbing each other. Because sometimes we tend to get too much in our mind or get too much in our heart, and we create situations or scenarios that are unrealistic because of previous things that we are compensating for. Whether it's a breakup or whether it's a tough time that you've gone through, whether it's a job that you lost, whether it's, people not believing in you, whether it's, you not believing in you, or you not being able to figure out where you need to be or where you should go, or, just what's going on in your life. And this is where I feel like the Scorpio moon is really shutting everything down, really shoving people down and being like, hey, you need to get present, you need to get still, you need to ground yourself. Because without the root chakra being grounded, it does not matter how much work you do on yourself. It does not matter how much work you put into your life. You are not living presently. And I feel like this issue tends to pop up in every single situation. We lose our stability in being grounded. We lose that placement within the knowingness that we can trust what is happening, that we can trust that all things that we are experiencing is teaching us something and helping us grow. Growth is so important, and life is all about lessons. That's all we're here for. And of course, other things can fall into play, but the main objective of being here is to learn. So when we start feeling conflicted, we have to ask ourselves, what's going on? Where am I not being grounded? Where am I dabbling into the future? Where am I dabbling into the past? Because there's something within what I'm doing right now that I'm not here right now. I know it's hard in the beginning. It's hard in a lot of different circumstances to be grounded and to be present because, there are some things, that you really need to try to plan out for ahead of time or something. But what if we don't have to do that? What if we are being too organized? What if we are being too much? What if we are allowing the lower vibrational self to make us feel like the lack of organization means that our lives is out of control? Our lives are already out of control because the mind is not really on terms with the higher self. So the mind is not aware of what the higher self is teaching the mind. The mind is only aware of what's happening in the moment. So of course your emotions are going to jump to conclusions. Of course your emotions are going to try to figure out the best solution or going to try to analyze situations and create an entire reality that actually does not exist. And then that's when we start taken away from ourselves. We start taken away from who we are because now we are no longer in the moment. We are now present or in the future. But the true future is right now because you can never take that minute ago back. Like you can never go back to that minute. But the minutes ahead of time is always going to be the future. So in this current moment, this is always going to be the future. So stop asking people for answers. Stop seeking other things because right now is where your answer lies. If you feel love, feel love. If you feel sad. But know that this is the future and you have every ounce of ounce of right now to change your future because your future is right now. which is why there are never problems in the current moment. No matter if you're being kicked out, no matter if you lost something, no matter if you found something, but there's still a problem. That's not real. And we have to start learning how to accept that and how to trust that problems are not real. We have to trust in our manifestation. We have to trust in our power. You can get kicked out, but you have to keep in mind that you're powerful so you can manifest a solution. So is there really a problem? There's always a solution. So do problems really exist? Or are we allowing emotions to create an illusion of a problem? When we get angry, it's okay to feel these emotions, but what you do next is crucial. What you do next is what brings into play cause and effect. How you present yourself in these moments is what creates cause and effect. It's about how you get through things. It's about how strong you choose to be. It's not about what's occurring in the moment. So many things can occur in a moment. Things are always going to occur in the moment. Are we going to continue to allow these things to sway us left and right and control us left and right? We shouldn't. And this is what I feel the Scorpio moon is really trying to show us right now. How to trust that no matter what is going on right now, you have every right to feel grounded. You have every right to be grounded. So let's continue to figure out how to trust and how to become grounded. It is very crucial that we start learning how to do this for ourselves, because if you're here experiencing life, you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be experiencing this. You're supposed to be going through this. You play a very major role. There is something very important about you being here right now. So we need to stop falling into the negative thoughts. And we need to start asking questions. Is this ego talking? And if this is ego, I appreciate you working, but what you are saying does not apply to me in this moment. Do I really need to hear that right now? Is this really something that is a reality for me in this reality? Or are you just speaking based on our parallel selves that are going through different experiences, playing out different experiences in different ways? If you can catch what I'm saying. We have to start asking questions before we give energy to the focus of these things. And I feel like that's what stops us from being grounded and stops us from trusting that what's happening right now is supposed to happen, and you have to just accept it and you have to just let go. You have to free yourself into everything that's going on right now. Don't try to figure out if things are supposed to happen the way it is or why it's happening the way it is. Just allow it to be what it is. Love and appreciate things for what it is in the moment. Yes, things come and go, but sometimes we're actually the reason why certain things come and go, and we take away the experience because we jump to conclusions of the past and the future. So let's try to figure out how to stop doing that with ourselves and our lives and our experiences. Because we all deserve to be happy, and until we start doing that, it's going to be really hard to be happy. Granted, some things are uncontrollable, but you gotta trust that no control is actually the best control.